Good evening. Have you noticed that some friendships just don't feel the same anymore? People you've known for years, friends you once felt close to, friends you assumed would always be there, and nothing has happened. There's been no falling out, no big argument, and yet it doesn't feel the same anymore. You might even find yourself pulling back and then wondering, what's wrong with me? Why? Why don't I feel like reaching out anymore? Why does this feel harder than it used to? Well, today I want to talk about something many women notice after 60, but they don't always know how to talk about it. You see, I really do believe that most women don't want to lose friends. And I say this because I believe women need women, and women do treasure friendships very deeply. So it's not like you woke up one day and decided you wanted fewer people in your life. You didn't plan to outgrow anyone. But it happens, sometimes quietly and sometimes surprisingly. Maybe you begin to notice that your conversations feel repetitive and your time together feels less nourishing. You have a feeling of being sometimes drained instead of connected. And because these are people you care about or once cared deeply about, it can feel confusing and sad. So you try to talk yourself out of it. You tell yourself, you're being too hard, you're being too sensitive, or ungrateful, or that this is just what getting older looks like. But the feeling doesn't go away. Here's what I'd like to say to you very lovingly. When friendships change after 60, it's usually not because anyone did anything wrong. It's because many friendships were built for a different stage of life. If you think about it, for decades, our friendships were often formed around raising the kids together, or shared schedules, or being in the same phase of life, or proximity to where you lived. And those friendships were real, and they mattered, and they served you well. But after 60s, those structures kind of fall away. The kids are grown, life slows down, and you're no longer bonding through holding everything together in the day-to-day demands of life. And when that happens, you realize that some friendships are role-based, not depth-based. Now, I don't know if this is you, but some women, as they grow older, are looking for more depth. So the small talk or the repeated conversations about kids just don't appeal to them as they once did. It seems there's not much in common anymore. But you know what I've found? That even though all that is true, and I have been through this, there can still be grief about it, because you may miss who you used to be together. You may miss the history, the stories. You may miss the ease you once felt. So sometimes you're not grieving the person as much as you're grieving the way you used to fit together. And that's a very real loss, and it deserves our compassion and our feeling of loss. Because we love our friends so much, whether they're historical or not, I think that sometimes we forget that not every friendship is meant to grow old with us. You know, there's that old saying that says, some people come into your life for a reason, some for a season, and some for a lifetime. And our later life is when we usually find out which is which. So, what do you do with this? Well, in my opinion, you don't need to confront anyone. You don't need to explain yourself, and you don't need to end the friendships, because sometimes those friendships change quietly away on their own. Sometimes the distance just becomes greater and greater until you finally accept that they came into your life for a reason and for a season, but not for the rest of your life. And then, many times a wonderful thing happens. New friendships appear. Friendships that meet you where you are now. So if you're noticing friendships changing at this stage of life, please honor that you had friendships who supported who you were. And now you have friendship who support you, who you are, and who you're becoming. And that's growth on so many levels. And I have found over the years that some connections fade so deeper ones can finally find you. So if this resonated with you, I'd love to know your take on friendships and how they've affected you. And you can write to me in the comments right now. I'd love to know what part of maintaining or losing a friendship has been the hardest for you, or what surprised you the most. And this would be a good time to take advantage and download our free Soul Guide PDF by clicking on more below this video. And when it comes to changing friendships, the next step is learning what to expect when you make changes in your living situation. And I offer ways how to lessen your anxiety as you make changes in this next video. Here, right here, this one you can watch right now after this one. So until then, my friends, always remember you have a friend in me, and there really is no one worth knowing more than you.